for so many moms and dads who are having to work from home, but also making sure that their kids are not only studying, but actually focusing. And so the fact that you have no issues with that, you should thank your lucky stars for that.
I mean, if I could only be as lucky with Wi-Fi, and that's, again, everyone in our house is working or, at school and when everyone's on the Wi-Fi and me and Duane have, to go live or have to do, whatever, everyone's like, oh, how important is yours? Because I really need to make sure I have uninterrupted, Wi-Fi, because there's 6 of us here quarantining together and everyone has things and stuff they need to do.
Well, right
So
now
it's
your
a challenge.
picture, I mean, your picture is so crystal clear
I
and
got the good
perfect
room. Can you
and
tell?
beautiful. So whatever you're doing right now, it's definitely working. And so you have 6 people. So you have the kids, you and Duane, and
And
may I ask
family.
who else
Yeah.
is
My
who else is with you?
yeah, my extended family friends. So there's 4 of us adults and the 2 younger kids, and then the older boys are nearby. We literally just ran out of space for everyone to homeschool, so we had to get rentals to accommodate everyone's online stuff. But they're cooked. They're 18, and we are in the home stretch. And if I could just, like what we're all sort of fighting the urge to do, except with Zaya, who doesn't want our help, to just kind of do things for our kids, like
Right.
just to, let me just, and it's like, they need to get through this on their own. I cannot micromanage the very end of high school because it doesn't get any easier from here. So,
So do you have a senior in high
two,
school?
two seniors,
Oh my gosh.
two
And
seniors.
that's such a hard thing. I think that my heart goes out to so many seniors, not only from high school or in high school and in college, because they're missing this really important milestone. And I think it's so cool that President Obama is going to be doing a commencement address and they're going to be
Yes.
televising it. And I think people will be so happy to hear from him during this. You know that he'll find just the right words, I think, to comfort people and inspire them. And especially during this very tough time for young people who are missing out on so much. It's such a rite of passage and it breaks my heart. Are they super disappointed or how are they handling that?
Well, we transferred, all the kids this year. So they transferred in their senior year. We were not the most popular parents at
Yeah.
the school year. So it's maybe a little different because, they kind of just got to the school. But wanting normalcy in terms of the end of high school period of the cap and gown and prom and, all the parties or whatever. I'm saying whatever, like I wasn't that kid. I'm like, I've admitted to nothing. They just they want to be normal. And this was in LA. It was supposed to be, we're all together, we're all under one roof. It's normal. And then global pandemic, anything but. So, yeah, it sucks. It sucks for them.
But they're adjusting okay. They're kind of dealing with it as best they can.
Yeah, I mean, we've moved around a lot. We've had a very non-traditional family dynamic and we're always coming and going. And this last year for them, playing basketball at Sierra Canyon with LeBron's son, and they were like an NBA team. So they went to China. They've literally been all over the world playing basketball throughout the whole year and are co-state champions and all of that good stuff. So they kind of got used to a different kind of existence, if you will.
Uh-huh. So
Just
they,
being
they
on
so
a
they have
team.
some they have built-in flexibility in a way because they've, as you said, have moved around and have had to adjust to different circumstances already. So it may be a little less challenging for them. And how's your baby doing?
She's still asleep for about 19 more minutes.
She is so cute. Caveat. She has her own Instagram account and she's got 1 million followers. And you guys, you and Duane obviously have so much fun with that. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of crazy how people just love her on social media. Do you ever worry about posting about her at all, Gabrielle? That I don't know. Do you ever? It seems like a lot of people share their kids, and then I wonder, do you think one day she's going to be like, "Mom, why are you doing that?"
Maybe. And when she can articulate that, she's never really held back, and she has very little language at this point. So I'm
Yeah.
sure she will read me for filth when the time is right. But yeah, I mean, we're really sensitive about how much we share, what we share. And with Cobb, we wanted to, because so many people were along on so much of our fertility journey and the heartbreak and the pain and the trauma, that when she arrived, it really felt like a win for so many people. And she just brings hope and joy, and inspiration for a lot of people. So right now, it's all love. And we tried to create a page for her to exist how she feels like it. And it's normally very unbothered, very unpressed, or like annoyed. And we wanted to give her the space to be who she is. And it's not all about the cutest or most expensive outfits, or her being perfect, or the perfect lighting, or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, just to let her go, and her expressions make those captions very easy to write.
Well,
Um,
yes, I love the one where she's looking pretty ticked off at the world.
that's
Where
most of them, yeah.
I no, I think that's how everybody was feeling. And one of the, like, so you've been busy not only taking care of the kids, but you have a children's book that you wrote, which is so exciting. So tell us about that. And I know you were inspired by your mom to write this book.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, tell us about it.
I grew up in one of the largest Black families in the state of Nebraska, and one of the largest Black families in the Midwest. And it wasn't always these formal, legal agreements, right? So whatever child needed raising, whatever adult needed a home, that's just what it was, whether it was a neighborhood friend that we called play cousins or whatever. So I grew up in a home where there were always people coming in, and there was always, everyone was always welcome. And with my mom at 60, after my parents got divorced at the age of 60, my mom adopted her first child. 61, adopted another. A few years later,
Which is
adopted
so
another.
awesome.
It's amazing. And now she's 73 with a teenager and preteens. And there's really no literature that sort of celebrates that welcoming of family, that is non-traditional. Certainly starring and centering marginalized families, being an LGBTQ plus ally, the concept of the chosen family, where if you weren't, lucky enough or blessed enough to be born into a family that loves you unconditionally and wraps their arms around you and welcomes you, and accepts you, you can choose your own. And there's nothing that really celebrates that. Anything that is non-traditional,
Hmm.
it's not really out there in that kind of way. Foster families, blended families, adoption, surrogacy. And I just wanted to write a love letter, at the end of this long heartbreaking journey that I was on, and a lot of families are on, to expand our family or create your family. I just wanted to celebrate all those families that are out here with their arms stretched wide open, like, welcome, we love you, we see you, and we celebrate you.
That is so great because you're right. I think that not enough has been written, and I don't think kids have enough modeling on unconventional or untraditional families that I think are more and more likely to exist. You had your baby through a surrogate, for example. And, I think you and Duane have been such incredible role models about supporting Zaya's transition. You and I talked briefly about it. By the way, I sent you a link to my documentary called Gender Revolution. I don't know if you ever got it, but I'm going to resend it because you were so sweet and you were interested in watching it as
Yeah.
I kind of learn more. And of course, you're way ahead of me probably at this point, but I think it was a very fulfilling documentary. And I think I've gotten so much positive feedback from families who have had children transition and how helpful it is as a teaching tool for their extended family.
Yeah. And I think
So,
it's important because people have no real understanding. Just like my dad to this day is still confused about why Kavya doesn't look like our surrogate, and that she like looks like me and Duane. And I'm like, because she's our biological. Okay,
yeah,
let's go back to step one, Dad. And with
yeah,
transitioning, people think they know all of it and know all the steps and feel very comfortable chiming in with all of their ignorance. And it's like, pump the brakes. You went to the end of the sentence, and we're still, trying to write the first word. And it's a slow process where there's a lot of checks and balances. And the first is listening to your child, talking to your child, meeting them where they are. And for us, it was getting a lot more therapy and getting a lot more educated as a family, and giving Zaya safe spaces to be very articulate about her feelings, about her identity, and going from there, step by step by step. And we're gonna make mistakes. We often make mistakes. We all still, because this is relatively recent for us at the beginning of this school year. She's been out as a queer child for years, but the transition has been since the start of 7th grade. And just getting the pronouns,
Right.
her preferred pronouns, and even knowing to ask other people, what are your preferred pronouns? Okay, great. And then, talking to people the way that they would prefer you speak to them. And it is the most idiot proof, basic, least you can do type of thing, is to speak to people the way they want to be spoken to. Call them by the names that they want. Understanding what a dead name is, versus their chosen name. And just understanding it's baby steps for everybody. And as long as you kind of lead with humility and not with, I've got all the answers, come to me, I'm an encyclopedia of information. I'm still working on this. I don't know. And that's a real answer. And I'll get back to you. Hold on.
Yeah.
And the process looks different for every family. And to hear so much noise from the outside about surgery, gender reassignment surgery, I'm like, that's, our child is, we just got her name. We just got her pronouns right. You're skipping some steps here. And it is a process, and it is a journey, and it is her journey. And we respect that. And that's just step one,
Well, I really, as I said, I really admire your openness, and I think that, I had a lot of misconceptions, and I set out to really educate myself, and through my own journey, hopefully educate other people. And I think, we have to give permission to people to sometimes make mistakes because they're curious, or they just don't understand, or they have no depth of experience. And so I think anytime we have a teacher like the two of you and Zaya, who can help educate a community, that's such a positive step forward, because it personalizes the journey and makes and humanizes the journey in a really important, significant way. So I really just want to commend you for everything you all have been doing.
No, thank you. We have a long way to go, and hopefully more people will just lead with loving their kids and not thinking of their children as disposable if they are not exactly like them. And really kind of relearning that, or even thinking of their children as their things or their property. You're an extension of me. And it's like, let's rethink some of that language even that we're using,
Yeah.
It's our job as parents to love our children, listen to our children, guide our children, and then try to provide every, resource, so they hopefully can become amazing, loving, compassionate, global citizens. And along that journey, understand we're not going to be prepared for every single thing, and new things are going to pop up all the time. And the same way, I still haven't learned how to use the remote control for the television. I sit in silence often. It's okay to not have all the answers, but it's not okay to dispose of your kids. And there's so much of the work we've been doing. It's like, it rips your heart out. And it's really just like, you're not me. You're not a mini version of me. So I have to reject you. Because you're just different. And that's okay. That's what makes the world amazing. And this idea of rejecting it, or I have to change it because it's going to make the world easier for you. No, you just added way more roadblocks if you're not allowing your child to live their truth and and you not love them and accept them. And, you know, like Zaya still has preteen things, you know, like she slipped up and cussed the other day and we were like, okay, well, that just slipped out. So I'm going to guess that you've been perhaps cussing with your friends. Let's get back to this. Let's get back to some like appropriate language. So it's not like she doesn't have a normal, you know, preteen journey. It's just, we love her as she is, and we're educating ourselves along the way, and we're going to mess up. And, you know, the other day there was a misgendering, and it was like, you know, now I'm like, oh, and instead of, it's like, and Zaya has been gracious enough to be like, you guys have till the end of the school year to get all your pronouns together, and these slip ups are, you know, nipped in the bud. Because I understand this is a journey and a process, but get it together.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you how it feels to be misgendered. And it was like, okay. And all you can do is respect that and change, and, you know, make the adjustments and change.
Well, she's going to be an incredibly strong and important example for a lot of people and a real educator. So tell me what else you guys been up to. You've been hanging out, obviously. Have you been watching anything fun, reading anything fun?
Yes.
You've been baking a lot of pies, apparently.
Oh, I've been eating pies. We've been ordering them.
Oh, you have? Where do you order pies from?
Oh gosh, like if you just search for desserts near me on Google, it's all the restaurants that are offering delivery or pickup, and we found them. I literally ate damn near a whole Boston cream pie, and it just brought me a level of joy that I was very grateful for. Yeah, we've been watching the Last Dance doc about Michael Jordan and the Bulls.
Oh, I was going to ask you if you were watching that. I have to start. Everybody I know has watched it, and I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, Dee was in the first episode, and I was like, you didn't tell me? Oh my God, like, wow. We've watched Never Have I Ever, Minnie Kaling's amazing YA. We
Oh,
watched
I want to see that too.
Oh my gosh, so good. Little Fires Everywhere.
I watched that.
Oh, so good.
I thought it was really good too.
So
I
good.
wasn't convinced initially. I wasn't convinced initially. Like the first episode, I wasn't sure, but then it got better and better and better, I thought.
Oh, I read the book when we happened to be living in Cleveland for that half a season. And so I was just into Shaker Heights and learning about Shaker Heights and that whole thing. So the book was just really interesting and timely. And so when I found out that Reese and Carrie were doing it, I was like, oh. So I've just been so interested because they're friends, and they did a brilliant job. Yeah.
I thought so too. I thought it was great.
I mean, there's so many. I just read Such a Fun Age.
Oh, we have that. We have that here, but
so
I don't know.
good.
Is it good?
It's
okay.
So good. I read it too fast because then it was like, damn. Okay. What else I got? Yeah. Not All Boys Are Blue. All Boys Aren't Blue by George Johnson, which is brilliant. God, there have been so many. Like, we literally just binge shows. We watched The Stranger. I'm trying to like slow down because then we're like done. I'm like, well, what else we got? We watched
right now. I'm watching Normal People on Hulu.
How is that? That's next.
I think, I've only seen the first 2 episodes, but it's beautifully shot and the acting is incredible. The whole second episode is pretty much 2 beautiful people having sex a lot.
So perhaps I should. We've been watching a lot of these with Zaya, so maybe.
Yeah, maybe do that. That can be your after hours entertainment because, but it's really good. It's based on the novel by Sally Rooney, which I also haven't read.
Okay. You've got time.
I do, but I'm writing a book, so almost all my time when I'm not doing something, I have to be writing and researching my book. So that's taken a lot of time away from reading. At least that's my excuse for now. So tell me, are you guys, what else are you doing? Are you doing anything fun for Mother's Day? And I also want to make sure, what's the name of your book?
Oh, Welcome to the Party. Illustrations by Ashley Evans. Yeah, and it's available everywhere. Well, hopefully it's made it to the local bookstores, which have always been, my personal favorites in every city. I like to lose myself in the little mom and pop bookstores. So hopefully those bookstores are getting the books and I know we're slowly opening them up in California on Friday. So in California, if you are a local, looking for your local bookstore, hopefully you can make it by some of the smaller guys that are trying to, stay alive during this pandemic.
You know what I was going to suggest? Jen Garner is doing this whole thing called Save with Stories for Save the Children.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it goes to No Kid Hungry and Save the Children. And she's asked people to read children's books. You should read your book. Gabby, has she reached out to you to do that?
I did it for Jen before my book came out. So I read Hair Love by Matthew Cherry, who won an Oscar for his short story that we were all at that party like cheering about. So I read Hair Love for Jen's organization. So maybe if she'll have me back, I can.
Oh, I'm sure she would love it. I'm sure she would love it, and it's such an important message. And I think it would be such a gift for people to have you reading it for their kids, knowing that they still have to buy the book. but it would be such a treat. And then you could save it, and then they could have your voice reading it while they show their kids the pictures and the story. I don't know.
I'm going to pitch it to Jen and see if she'll have me again. And if not, I'm going to try to slide it over. Maybe Kerry Washington can read it for me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure everybody would be happy to have you. So anything else going on? Anything else you want to tell me before we go? You're so sweet. It's been so fun to talk to you. And people are still asking about your skincare regimen.
I've been experimenting with a couple things that I'm hoping I can make public and available to everyone when, by the time I get out of here, or maybe before that. So clearly I got to work on some things, like maybe a zit zapper. But yeah, just the thing that's free, because I don't always subscribe to the most expensive of everything. I drink a gallon of water a day. Sometimes when I'm feeling fancy, I might put cucumber in there or lemon or whatever. Some people put mint or strawberries, whatever. But I also
a gallon. That's a lot of water.
It is. I pee a lot, which is a nice little escape from your children.
Oh, I see. You have ulterior motives for drinking a lot of water.
Yeah, it's skincare and self-care all at once.
Hey, before we go, I just also wanted to, tell me what else you're doing for your skin. Anything else you want to tell us?
No, I mean, right now it's just more, what I'm eating and not eating. So on the days where I eat gluten and dairy, which my body has an adverse reaction to, some days I don't care. I'm just going to be a little gassy with that dairy and I don't care. And there might be a zit, but I'm going to have a whole Boston cream pie and not one of those weird vegan ones. I'm going to eat the one I want. I'm going to have it and I'll just deal with the zit because where am I going? Yeah, so there's that. But like when I started drinking a gallon of water at 35 and now I'm 47 and
47?
I'm 47. I'll be 48 this year. Yeah.
Oh my God. You look awesome.
Thank you. And I have been using Rihanna's Fenty bronzer. So there's also that. It helps.
Well, you're looking great. And before we go, I meant to mention that my mom was born and raised in Omaha.
Was she?
Did I ever tell you that?
Born big, go big red. You might have.
Well, yeah, she.
And we were drinking
I don't know whether
some white wine, and I might have drank
that. She grew up in an area called Happy Hollow. My grandfather was an architect and a builder.
Yes, I know Happy Hollow very well. Those homes are beautiful.
Yeah, a lot of them are Tudor homes, I guess. And
yeah.
Isn't that
beautiful
funny?
Brick homes. Yeah. Like we used to drive and dream. It's a beautiful area. Yeah, that's awesome. No, and usually like Nebraska people lead with, I'm from Nebraska, I'm from Nebraska. So like Ashley Graham and I, like we bonded immediately.
Is Ashley is she from Nebraska?
Yeah.
Is she from Omaha?
I believe she's from Lincoln.
Lincoln, like Johnny Carson.
Johnny Carson, Jamie King, Malcolm X, Chris Klein. There's tons of us. Oh, Andy Roddick. Andy Roddick.
Oh, wow. My friend Brittany Jones Cooper's there from there. So anyway, well, it's been so fun talking to you, Gabby. And will you give, my friend, we're going to do, you guys, if anybody wants to see this, we're going to put a link to our conversation and wake up call tomorrow, my newsletter, which if you don't subscribe to, please go to katiecouric.com and subscribe to it. It's we're putting it out every day, even on Saturdays, to give you the top stories, so you don't have to be paying attention to the news 24/7, which it can be very anxiety producing, right, Gabby?
Yes. I have PTSD, and the way my anxiety is set up, I have to give myself breaks from my phone because I just start spiraling. And I can't do all the things I normally do to sort of bring myself back down. And so limiting the news is helpful.
Yeah, sure. I agree. So that's why Wake Up Call really comes in handy. Anyway, I want to just remind people for Mother's Day about your book, which is called Welcome to the Party. And so everybody check out Gabby's new book. And what about your show with Jessica Alba before we go? I know that
LA's Finest.
that's going to have its second season premiere in June.
Yes, in June. I believe it's June 8th, available on Spectrum. We're so excited about it. We felt like we kicked butt this season, and luckily we were able to finish the season in February, right before we all went into lockdown. So we're really excited about that. You can watch the first season on iTunes. You can get caught up, or you can also watch the first season on Spectrum, and get ready to join this next party that we're doing next month. So we're excited about it.
Awesome. Well, listen, stay safe. And as I said, give my love to your whole family, especially Zaya. And I'm going to resend you that link to make sure that you get it.
Someone is like dragging something across. I don't know if you can hear this. It is like someone is dragging something heavy. We can't hear it,
so don't worry. Is this like is this a special room that you guys have for your interviews?
No, this is the special room that has a door and no windows, so no one can like appear in the window. Literally everywhere else, because we have to take turns on who gets to get the good room, and it happens to have better Wi-Fi reception than anywhere else in the house. So you can close the door, no one can bother you, except when they're dragging things across. I don't know what's happening. I don't even know what I'm going upstairs to, and I may stay down here for a little bit longer. And say, well, Katie wanted to keep talking.
And just talk to yourself.
Just
pretend like we're still talking, then you can have a moment of peace and quiet.
I'm just thinking, I'm like, please say it's not across these hardwood floors. Like, I don't know what I'm going upstairs to. I'm sure it's going to be great.
Okay. Well, good luck, and I hope I see you soon one of these days.
Yes, and as always with our white wine. Cheers.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. All right. Thanks for being with us, everybody, and talk to you soon. Bye, Gabby.
Bye, guys. Bye, Katie.
Bye. Bye.